Falling in love with these beautiful creatures that are Icelandic horses is so easy, but there is so much to these horses when it comes to the horse's history, training the horse, riding the horse, and caring for the horse, as well as adapting to its lifestyle. I explored these aspects and used previous knowledge to put together a film all about them, the Icelandic Horse. The history of the Icelandic horse can be traced right back to the settlement of the country in the late 9th century. The breed has remained pure for over 1,000 years. For centuries, the horse was the only means of transportation in Iceland, as well as being the most important working animal in the days before machinery. But when the first automobile arrived in Iceland in 1913, the horse rapidly became redundant. But up until that, the time that horses had mainly been bred with strength and stamina in mind, rather than ability of riding and gait. Today, there are close to 80,000 horses in Iceland, which is an incredible number for a nation that counts for 300,000 people. Thousands of people in Iceland own horses for the very simple pleasure of riding out and enjoying the companionship of their own horses. Travel on horseback is growing in popularity, and the Icelandic horsemen are respectful and considerate when it comes to nature. And just as they are with nature, they are with their horse. They are respectful and considerate. The first step of getting a horse is buying the horse. Owning a horse can be a rewarding experience, although before you decide to buy a horse, think it thoroughly through. There are many questions you should be asking yourself when you are looking at potentially buying a horse. The most important questions you should ask yourself are, do I have the time? Can I afford the horse? And of course, what kind of horse do I want? The Icelandic horse shimmers in all colors to the delight of the beholder, or the viewer of the horse. Having a certain color, the horse can be just that little extra special. And maybe that is the reason why you buy that horse. Icelandic horses have a cultural tradition that follows them. When a name is given to an Icelandic foal, the breeder gives the Icelandic horse a name based on the characteristics of the foal or by color or markings on the horse, or a name from history, or even a circumstance when the horse is born. In addition to the horse's name, you put the word from and then which farm or city the foal is from or born at. For example, Una from Ulstorp. To learn more, I met up with Karin Palm, Icelandic horse owner and rider, and my neighbor on Stuværad farm on the island of Skefte, located on the west coast of Sweden. I asked her about her experience with the Icelandic horse.
Ja, min erfarenhet med islandshästar är sen jag var 40 år kan man säga. Då började jag rida på en tur. Det var ganska populärt och många red på tur, och det blev jag också inbjuden att göra. Och innan dess hade jag bara ridit på stora hästar. Så jag visste ingenting om de här små ponnishästarna som såg ganska konstiga ut. Men efter att ha ridit ute i underbar natur, och det var så vackert och de var så pigga och de var så snälla, så blev jag frälst helt enkelt. Jag blev förälskad i de här.
Karin will now demonstrate how she cares for her horse before going out riding with her horse. When cleaning a horse's hooves, it's very important to start by introducing yourself and making sure that your horse is calm. Stand near the shoulder and turn your body to face his tail. Now run your hand down the leg and tap the back of his or her leg. This should warn the horse what you are about to do. You are about to lift the hoof so that you can patience and gently hold the hoof in one hand. You need to have a sturdy grip on the hoof. Firstly, you can put down a grip blanket. This grip blanket is used by Karin, and she likes this very much as this keeps the saddle in place. Now you can also have any form of blanket, but this specific one is gripped to the horse specifically so that it sits well when riding. She then places the saddle on the horse, and she will then fasten the saddle. The next step would be to adjust the stirrups to the length of your legs. Now, the technique that is commonly used is that you put your arm's length to measure the stirrup length, as your arms are roughly the same length as your legs. Now, this won't work if you are an unproportioned person, although this will help you if your legs and arms are very similar in length. Now, Karin is demonstrating how she puts on the bridle. This is really important as she approaches the horse with care. She puts on the bridle or the bit into the mouth of the horse first, and then she places the bridle over the ears, and that is where the bite sit. Now, there is also a nose piece, and she puts the second part, and this attaches in the back of the horse. So you can see on the back of the face, she will attach this now so that it's sitting clearly. Now, when you pull back, it will pull and nip the tongue of the horse, and also will give the horse some sort of grip back when she has short reins on. The most important thing is to have a good balanced rein for the horse so that the horse can ride forward, and also so that you can control the horse. Icelandic horses were also first exported as working animals decades ago. They were used for farm work, mining, and tens of thousands of horses were exported for that purpose solely. The 1950s saw the first exports of the riding horses, and since then the Icelandic horse has grown in popularity in Europe and North America. During the summer, they graze in lush green fields, and during the winter they are fed hay and provided with shelter. In parts of northern Iceland, horses are still allowed into the highlands during the summer and autumn months. In late September or early October, they are rounded up and sorted out into corrals, where each horse breeder picks out his or her horses and then drives them home to the farm. Raising horses in this manner in herds that roam free in wide open fields and in highlands is the key to shaping the personality and the character of the Icelandic horse. The outcome is a spirited and forward-going horse with much respect for the rider.
Ja, jag började ju när jag var liten, så jag började när jag var 7 år, och då red jag på ridskola en gång i veckan på vanlig lektion då. Så jag hade ingen erfarenhet av hur man skötte hästar. Alltså jag har räkt islandshäst ganska snart efter det att jag hade börjat rida islandshäst, så köpte jag en häst.
Okay.
Så jag har haft nu islandshäst i nästan 20 år. Nästan 20 år har jag haft islandshäst, och jag har haft 3 stycken. Nu har jag 3 stycken, men jag har liksom själv ägt 3 hästar. Det har varit olika anledningar till varför jag var tvungen att ta bort dem. Ja. Den första hästen blev sjuk. Ja. Och den andra hästen, den var för vild för mig. Ja, okay. Så jag blev rädd för den hästen. Och nu har jag den här hästen som är en snäll och gosig häst som jag vågar rida. Ja.
Okej. Okay.
Att de är snälla, att de är lätthanterliga men ändå pigga, men svårridna. Det är svårt att rida så som man ska göra på en islandshäst.
Ja, alltså på riktigt.
På riktigt. Ja.
There is a significant difference between riding a horse and just sitting on a horse, and giving it the control to do whatever it pleases. When you ride a horse, you have the control over the horse and respect for the horse at the same time. Finding that balance is what makes you the best rider. Icelandic horses respond best to confident riders who ride with their weight back, heels down, and with a short grip on the reins. When you are riding the horse, the bridle and the bit are very important as they help you steer the horse in the direction by using its mouth. Communication with your horse can be first made through the bridle, second made through the use of the legs. You can use your legs to steer the horse to go a certain way, with gentle nudges on the right or left side, depending on the place that you are steering towards.
Ja, det är väl det att den är så renrasig att den inte har, man har ju inte avlat den med andra raser. Så att det är en av de mest renrasiga hästarna i världen. Eftersom det förbjöds på Island för 800 år sedan.
Okay. Training of the Icelandic horse does not start until their 4th year. Research has shown that their leg bones are maturing until the age of 3.5, and they should not be started earlier. Not all horses start at the age of 4, but those who are starting at the age of 4 are usually trained a little or taught to work with the saddle and bridle, shod, and a little riding at a time. In their 5th year, their training is continued, and more demands can be made. The Icelandic horse usually leads a long and healthy life, and their natural lifespan is 25 to 30 years, but some have grown much older. I met with Hesturinn Gustafsson, a professional Icelandic horse rider, horse instructor, and coach, to learn more about her life and her riding experience. Hesturinn explained that her first interest in horses was around the age of 7 when she started riding the pony. Before she started riding Icelandic horses, she competed with pony-sized horses in jumping. She came in contact with Icelandic horses first in the early 90s. She bought her first Icelandic horse in 1992, and 2 years later, in 1994, she participated in her first national championship, and since then, she has competed actively in V1, T1, F1, and T2 at the national level. She has also competed in the World Cup and is a part of the national team of riders for Sweden. The Icelandic horse has 5 gaits. The first gait is the walk. It is a 4-beat gait. When walking, the horse should be relaxed, moving ahead briskly, and putting each foot down independently. The walk is also good for releasing tension and to teach the horse to work in a more focused manner. The walk is not simply a walk. There is still that hoof pattern that needs to be followed when a walk is to be executed properly. The trot is a 2-beat gait where the front hind legs on the opposite sides move together. The trot is one of the so-called basic gaits and is used a lot in basic training before the horse masters tölt. The canter or gallop is a 3-beat gait ridden at different speeds. A slow canter is comfortable and is common all over the world in different horse breeds. A fast gallop can, however, liven up the horse and increase its willingness, positive attitude, and enthusiasm to work. The tölt is a speciality of the Icelandic horse. The Icelandic horse is the only horse that can ride the tölt. It is a smooth 4-beat gait in which the horse's hind legs should move well under the body and carry more of the weight on the hind part, allowing the front to rise and be free and loose. The flying pace is a 2-beat gait, well known in the international racing world. When pacing, the horse moves both legs on the same side together, and in Iceland, pace horses are ridden in races, not raced in front of a sulky like in other countries, and pace racing in Iceland is one of the oldest and most respected equestrian sports. To understand the Icelandic horse, we need to understand their lifestyle, and how to care for the horse is based on their lifestyle. The herd is very important in the Icelandic horse's life. Foals will follow their mothers for the first few months of their lives, sometimes longer, but some are stabled during just their first winter. After that, the young horses are put into a herd where they will learn to live within a group and find their place in a chain of command.
Ja, det är ju att se till att man tillgodoser de behov som hästen har, både av näring och av frihet och av rörelse och av social kontakt med andra hästar. Ja. Och i möjligaste mån utifrån de förutsättningar man har. Ja. Och vi har ju de möjligheterna att ha ganska stora öppna hagar så de får gå fritt. De har ett stall som de kan gå in och ut i själva. Mm. Där de kan ligga torrt. Mm. Och där de får äta sin mat. Mm. Resten av tiden väljer de själva. Och då väljer de alltid nästan oavsett väder och temperatur att vara ute. Ja. Alltså dels är det ju så att hästar, generellt alla hästar, islandshästarna är ju inte speciell på det sättet, utan att alla hästar behöver ju sällskap och enligt lag så får inte en häst vara ensam. Mm. Och för det är viktigt för de är alltså flockdjur och det är en av de 4 instinkterna, det är att leva i flock. Hela deras sociala mönster och trygghet beror på att man lever i flock. Och där har de ett socialt system att det finns en som bestämmer och de andra får tillrätta sig i olika status då. Mm. Och om de får lära sig det när de är små så blir de lättare att hantera, därför att människan kommer in som en ledare för hästen och då känner hästen igen ledarskapet från ledarhästen. Ja. Och om man har samma signaler till hästen som ledarhästen har, så förstår hästen människan.